What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Work Hard Ellswick back out here with the brown turd again. So unfortunately, I got some corrupted video here. Check this out. Got the rear end pulled out of the truck. I actually got the first leaf spring laying down here on the ground. Dry shaft's all detached. Didn't get the other leaf spring off yet. I one of those moments where you hit play on the, or record on the old camera there, and then check it and figure out that the dang thing didn't start recording on you. So I missed all of the video of getting the rear end pulled out of this thing. Lucky enough, it's easy enough to do. So rear end's out. Basically all I did was pull the caps off the rear end, which go right around here. It's just 2 bolts each side, right? Lock on. Here's the caps right here. That was able to get the U-joint, the dry shaft pulled off the deal. I pulled the brake line off, and then the breather tube was easy enough. It was just bolted to the frame with 1 clamp, and then we just lowered the bad boy down with jacks. Dumped the U-bolts off with the plates, 4 bolts each side, no big deal, and lowered it down, drug it out, took it over there, put it on jack stands. So now what I've been working on is just getting the leaf springs off, so they're just left hanging like this. Let me show you on this other side over here. So U-bolt went on top of the leaf spring like this. There's another hole, or pin I should say, underneath, if you guys can see it. I can show you on the other one. Yeah, there it is on the other one there. You can see it on the bottom, and that's what the perch from the rear end was sitting on. So we just loosened it, lowered it down, drug it out like I said, and then now we're down to getting these pulled off. So I need to get the leaf springs off on this side, or the leaf spring off on this side. That'll give us access to the brackets here. That's kind of what we're after. We got to get those ground off, shot off, whatever we got to do to get them off, and then we can get the new brackets going on. So bump stops are going to have to come out. We are doing a C-notch on the frame, so we can either pull them off or they'll get cut out. You can see all the wiring inside the frame over there. I'm gonna have to do something with that. We'll get that all unconnected. There's a rat's nest back here that they put on to get the plug for the trailer hooked up here. So I'm not really worried about all that. We're just gonna disconnect all the stuff that's not needed for the actual lights of the truck. The brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, all that. So I'll get all this extra wiring and grounds pulled out of here and just get that mess out of the way so we can get the wires pulled back, because we will have to reroute these with the C-notch going in. I'll just put them through the C-notch. Same thing with the brake line on that side. I'm probably going to cut it back in here somewhere, and you know, we'll just make a new end. I'll put a union in between there and then make my old line. We'll have it go up through the C-notch. Possibly, I got to see where the C-notch is going to drop off at, but that will eventually hook back up to this somewhere, and then that line will come down to the rear end, and we'll branch it off on the forward part of the rear end going back over to the brakes. But you guys will see all that as we're doing it. As far as the rear end itself, these perches got to get pulled off, so we're going to grind those off. I'm going to pull the axles out of this thing. We got a leak up front here, so I'm going to figure out what I need to do to pull this rear end apart. We're going to get everything cleaned out of it. I'm going to take it, have it sandblasted. We'll pull the backing plates for the brakes off. I can sandblast those here. My sandblaster's just not big enough to fit the rear end in it, but all the small stuff I can sandblast here, and we'll start sandblasting that. But before we do all that, I just want to see how all this stuff is going to fit together with all these brackets bolted on and how they all line up. So we're going to go ahead, I'll get that leaf spring pulled off on that side, and then we're going to get to town on grounding all these brackets and get this frame to where it needs to be so we can start fitting pieces to it and fitting stuff together. I did take the C notches. The C notch that I got was all cut out, measured and everything, but I took it over to one of the weld shops that's here so they can actually get that thing perfectly square and get it welded together for me, and then we'll figure out how to get it spliced into the frame. But I don't have anything around here, you know, metal tables or welding tables or anything like that where I can actually get the C notches really squared up and you know, and get them welded together correctly. So with that being a vital part of what we got going on here, I don't want to mess that up, so we're gonna let the professionals take care of that. They'll probably charge me 50-60 bucks to square those things and weld them together, and I'll show them to you guys once I get them back. So let's get this other leaf spring ripped off. I'll get you guys set up. I'll pop that thing off real quick, and then we're gonna get the grinder out and get the grinding these things down. I think I have an air hammer and a compressor, obviously. I think I might try to just chisel the tops of some of these off and see how they go, especially that one over there by the gas tank. I don't really want to be shooting any sparks into the gas tank there. Still not 100% if that gas tank's gonna have to come off yet or not, but we'll get that figured out here real soon. So all right, that's kind of where we're at. I got you guys all caught up, and let's get the rest of this stuff pulled off this frame. All right, guys, check this out. So like I said just a little bit ago, we got the leaf spring pulled off on that side. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side, show you guys how I did this. I'm not going to pull the bolts all the way out. I'm just going to break them loose, get the nuts off of them, leave the bolts in there. That way when I get to this end, I can actually hold it while I pull the bolt out so it doesn't slam to the floor. Not that it really matters, because we're not going to reuse them, but as soon as I get that on there. Alright, if you got headphones on, now's a good time to turn the volume down. Alright, through with that nut and washer. We'll do the same thing here. Like I said, we won't pull the bolt all the way out. A little bit easier down here because I can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Alright, so there comes that nut. I'll get those picked back up, put on. Alright, now I'm going to pull the bolt. Maybe. Man, these things have been in there forever. I'd say 40-something years. Actually 43 to be exact. Alright. That side's loose and out. Get this bolt, pull the rest of the way out. Just like that. And I need my pry bar This didn't come right out on the other side. Did on this side. That's it. Leaf spring is loose. That is all there is to it. So now we got to focus on getting all these brackets out. This one's going to be tricky with the gas tank. I'm going to have to cover the gas tank up so we don't blow ourselves up, but that'll be the next step. Let me get that set up and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Alright y'all, as you can see, the brackets are all the way off now. So what you seen me doing was I took the grinder there, I ground the tops of the heads of the rivets. These were all rivets holding those brackets on. So I ground the heads off flat with the bracket. There's a bracket there, you can see. And then I took my air hammer with my chisel on it and chiseled down behind it until they broke loose. Got it to fall all the way off, and then I used the air hammer again with the punch to just punch the rivets through the holes. You can see there it slipped on me once. So we'll get these all cleaned up now, and this is ready for the new brackets to be installed, which are right over here. And we're gonna have to upsize the holes. I'm gonna have to get into the hardware and look to see how these things go on. But this is what our 4-link's gonna go off of here. So it'll line up with those holes just like that. It'll bolt right into place. We'll have to upsize the hose a little bit, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, we're making some headway now. Still got the bracket on the other side. Obviously the gas tank's here. I'm not going to be able to grind at least that one side off. I'm not going to be able to get in there, so I'm just going to use the air hammer, shoot the rivets off on the forward side of that bracket, and then we'll grind the ones off the back, and hopefully we can get that one popped off. I got all 3 of them done. So this one's off, that aft one's off, and I mean, I got those 2 done. I'm working on the 3rd one now, so this would be the one I get knocked off next. And there you go. That's the room that you got between the gas tank and that one. So I think I can get, because those 2 right there are really close, I'll just be able to chisel these right off, brat, 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 and then hopefully get them knocked out so we can get the bracket out of there. Because otherwise the gas tank's going to have to come off, and I really don't want to have to do that right now if I don't have to. I want to get everything set and mocked up first. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap this one up. I'm gonna get these other brackets shot off. I know you guys don't really need to see how that's done. You kind of watch how I did the first one there. get this thing ready to start drilling and upsizing some holes and getting some brackets installed so we can actually get the rear end slid back into place, get it marked where it needs to be. There's brackets that have to be welded onto it for the 4-link. That's no big deal. And we can start getting this thing mocked up. I'm gonna get everything mocked up the way that it is now. Make sure everything is aligned and is functioning correctly, and then we'll get it all pulled back apart. I'll powder coat everything. We'll get the whole rear end sandblasted. I'll get the axles pulled out of it, and do all that and get all that stuff powder coated and painted and everything that we're gonna do to it, so we can do the final install. We're gonna clean the frame up too. So any grinding and welding and stuff that needs to be done on a frame, I'm gonna get all that done first, and then we'll clean it up. And obviously can't powder coat it, and I'll paint the frame. We'll get it cleaned up and paint it so it looks a hell of a lot better. But that'll do it for this one. I appreciate y'all checking the project out. Going forward here, like I said, next step, we're gonna start getting everything mocked up, and that'll be the next video. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody coming and checking me out. Check me out over on the gram. I'm gonna start uploading over there again too, and I'll see y'all shortly. Peace.